Zara and Mike Tindall were spotted with their adorable nieces, Savannah and Isla Phillips in Windsor, along with their daughter, Mia. They arrived together at the committal service for Queen Elizabeth II. The service took place at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, beginning at 4 p.m. After the service, the Queen will be laid to rest in the King George VI Memorial Chapel, a small annex to the main chapel at Windsor. She will be buried alongside her father, George VI, the Queen Mother and her sister, Princess Margaret. Prince Philip is in the royal vault but will be moved to lie beside his wife in the chapel. The Queen died on September 8 at Balmoral Castle aged 96. Savannah Phillips, Zara Tindall, Ilsa Phillips, Lena Tindall and Mike Tindall arrive at the service. Image, PA, they arrived together at the committal service for Queen Elizabeth II. Image, PA, Zara Tindall comforts fellow royals as Queen's granddaughter displays touching gesture. Zara Tindall has been spotted offering comfort to other grieving members of the royal family as they wish a final goodbye to the late Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen's eldest granddaughter, 41, is thought to have had a close relationship with the late monarch for a number of years. Read more here. Zara and her husband Mike attended the funeral service earlier today, which took place at Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m. Zara stood next to her cousin, Princess Eugenie, and appeared to be visibly emotional throughout the service. A single toll from Big Ben signaled the start of the service at Westminster Abbey. The Queen's coffin, which had been lying in state for 4 days at Westminster Hall, was taken by pallbearers to be placed on the Royal Navy State Funeral Gun Carriage just after 10:30 a.m. Zara Tindall's biggest achievements. Image, Express, trending. The coffin was carried from New Palace Yard towards Westminster Abbey on the gun carriage, departing just before 10:45 a.m. Members of the royal family, led by King Charles III, followed on foot behind. The route through Parliament Square, Broad Sanctuary and the sanctuary was lined by Royal Navy personnel and Royal Marines. The service, conducted by the Very Reverend Dr. David Hoyle, Dean of Westminster, began at 11 a.m. Zara and her husband Mike attended the funeral service earlier today. Image, Getty, Image, Express. The sermon was delivered by the Most Reverend and Right Honourable Justin Welby, Archbishop of Canterbury. During the sermon, Archbishop Welby described the Queen as having touched a multitude of lives and being a joyful figure for many. He added the monarch had declared on her 21st birthday that her whole life would be dedicated to serving the nation and Commonwealth. At the end of the service, the last post was played before the nation observed a 2-minute silence. The service, conducted by the Very Reverend Dr. David Hoyle, Dean of Westminster, began at 11 a.m. Image, Getty. The Queen's coffin was taken by pallbearers to be placed on the state funeral gun carriage. Image, Getty. After the funeral, the Queen's coffin travelled in procession from Westminster Abbey to Wellington Arch, between the corners of Hyde Park and Green Park. Prince Harry and William later rejoined the procession at Windsor Castle ahead of the service, along with Charles, the Princess Royal, the Duke of York and the Earl of Wessex also rejoined the procession, meeting it at the quadrangle as it moved towards St. John Court. From there, the coffin travelled to Windsor ahead of the committal service. Zara, Mike and Mia Tindall were seen leaving St. George's Chapel on foot after the committal service. Image, BBC.